What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing lowering, I don't even know what they're called, it's for lowering springs, okay? They're like bushings, you see this? Alright, and we're going to be installing it on the car, on Onyx, and I want to let you know there are 3 different kinds of springs in a car, okay? There's a tangential, I think that's what it's called. There's constant rate, and then there's the variable rate, okay? This car, of the 3 springs, the only spring that can be cut is the constant rate spring because it's the same pressure from top to bottom, okay? So the problem with this car is it's got the tangential spring, okay, which has a little pigtail at the very end, okay, and having that you cannot cut it, okay? It's because the rates are not constant, and if you were to cut that area there or the opposite area, you're going to have it's going to be an improper or a non-constant, you know, spring rate, and that's what we don't want on this car. So what we have to do that is to lower the springs with these, okay? Because they don't really have a lowering spring kit for this particular car. I don't know why, and but it's been successful. I've used it successfully. So you're going to need 2 on each side. So it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so it's going to be 8 pieces basically. Alright, and we're going to install it. It's a very quick installation compared to the front that we had to do. That the front springs were really a pain, and that's just something that I did not particularly like going through. It was a pain. So, alright, so let's get this show on the road. Alright, we'll cut these open and get inside. To the beef, the nitty-gritty. Alright, and obviously it's got polyurethane as the compound, which is great. So once this thing, I'm going to separate it, and they're going to be reversed. So the spring is going to be here, this piece is going to be on top of that, and then you just tighten them down, okay? And that's how that's going to work. Okay, there's a lot of extras here, and you're only going to need this many nuts. Actually, the correct way to install it is like this. The spring coil goes here. Can you see? The spring coil goes here, and then you clap it down like that, and then it brings down the coil. Okay, it's equivalent to cutting 1 coil. And if you want to lower it some more, you put another set on, which is going to be quite a mess underneath because the spring is very small. So we can only take down 1 coil today, and that's what we're going to do. All right. For this job is, believe it or not, the only tools you want to need for this job is a 14mm wrench, but I like to use the, you know, the ratcheting type. Okay, and then that's pretty much all you need, and then you need a jack to get it up. So today we're going to put it on the ramp. so it's easier for me to work on underneath. Alright guys, I'm going to put this like this, and then the other one at the bottom like this. And I'm going to bring these two springs together like that, okay? And that will lower the car. Alright, we're going to do it to the other side too. Because I got it jacked up now. Hopefully it's not going to come off on me. Okay, so it's going to be a little tricky. When I meant tangential spring, if you look closely, it kind of tapers at the bottom. Let me get you a closer look. You see how it kind of tapers at the bottom and it's not the same outside? That means there's a different spring rate. So if you start cutting this piece here, you're going to have a wildly inconsistent spring rate, which is a huge problem with safety and performance, okay? And at the very top, it's the same thing. See it, tangential? It's a smaller diameter than it is out here. So this spring cannot be cut. It can only be lowered by bringing these two coils down together or getting a whole new lowered spring set, which is not available for this car. So that's what you got to do. Alright, so with the constant rate spring, it's the same diameter all the way down, which makes it constant rate. Okay, and the other one, which is a variable rate, you got thinner springs here. Actually no, you have a different rate springs here and different rate springs here. Okay, that means when you go in soft bumps, it absorbs shock much easier than when you get into the rough bumps. It's a lot more pressure, so you can corner with a car. So a lot of people are using the variable rate springs right now. Okay, but this is a stock car, relatively stock, so I have to make do with what I've got. Okay folks, and that's a little spring 101 for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna put these in here like this. These things are double-ended for a reason, so you can easily get through it like that. It's relatively tricky. So, as you can see, it's kind of a little pain in the ass. I decided to do this installation today. There's less cars because my subdivision is getting some kind of construction going on, so this whole street is cut off, which I'm happy about. Plus it's a Sunday, there's not a lot of people out here, and plus it's a little cold outside too, colder, which is great for me. Bottom piece like this. Looks like we're gonna have to release some. Push that down. Some more. That's good. Really know how low it's going to be until I put the car's weight on it, which sucks. I want to know before I do that. I think I can, and I'm going to jack up at the bottom here, and we're going to adjust it then. on underneath it. Okay, FYI, do not put this up here, okay? See where I've got it? That's staggering. If you put it up here, you're going to have an improper spring pressure, okay? You need to put it in the same area, okay? 180 degrees from where you started, all right? So right here is 180. Will it work? Come on, there you go. Okay, you see we're 180 degrees apart. Make sure it's not hitting anything. Make sure it's not hitting your shock or scraping into different parts of your suspension. I think I'm gonna need my glasses too. See, you don't need much tools to install one of these, and that's where you get the ratcheting wrench. It'll save you a lot of time, okay? So, and I'm going to tighten it as much as we can. So to make sure you don't get the wrench caught in here, you want to tighten the top as well. But you're going to have to get another one here to hold it down. That's okay. 14.
And that's how you lower rear springs on a Chevrolet Aveo. Hope to see you in the next video. BBG out.